Well, Danny, we just got to see the BMF belt for the first time. Let's just ask, how impressed are you with Conor McGregor's belt designing abilities? That's a good looking belt.
Hey, you did a great job. I love it.
We did see him take to social media right away, already making challenges. Conor McGregor, people want this belt. I mean, are you surprised, like, kind of the life that this thing is taking on? I mean, it was just kind of a joke in passing, right? And now all of a sudden, this thing is a real deal.
No, it's awesome. I don't think it was a joke in passing. You know, I brought this thing up to my team, and they fucking loved it, and they said, we think it's a great idea, so we did it. And when you have two dudes that are respected, that are fighting, you know, for now this belt, I mean, it means something. Yeah. It's always, well, like I said, when I get into boxing, you know, I will not recognize any of those other belts. When two of the baddest dudes in the world face off and they fight, and the man wins the fight, people want to beat the man, you know, and that's what makes a belt legitimate.
You touched on boxing. We just found out right before we started that, you know, there's a big boxing match on DAZN this weekend. They've committed to not running at the same time your fight is running. What do you think when you hear that kind of news? I mean, I guess it's a positive for fans. Are you surprised? Are you excited? What do you think?
No, it's awesome. Listen, on a night when you have a bunch of combat sports going on together, I think they're smart to do that. You know what I mean? Because if you want to watch this fight and watch their fight too, now you don't have to choose. You can actually watch both. Yeah. It's a smart move, and it's the right move for the fans.
Did you have any input? I mean, did you reach out to them and all talk to them? I mean, did you try to get this done?
No, no. Yeah. Listen, I do my thing, and you know, everybody's got their own thing to do, and it's not just a boxing match. You know, when we go out on a night, we compete with all kinds of different things. Whether there's a college football game that night, a big movie that's released at the same time. There's a lot of different things we compete with on weekends, and I think it was a really smart move by them. Yeah.
You did say when you get in boxing, it's November 1st now, right? We were expecting October now, so yeah. Give us the update. What happened? Why didn't we hear anything?
Yeah, because when you run a business and you got stuff going on, there's speed bumps and, you know, things that pop up that you don't expect that I'm dealing with right now. And once I get that stuff dealt with, we'll get it going. But I have this guy hired and ready to roll, and I want him in his office ASAP.
Do you think he'll be in soon? I mean, when you talk about the hiccups, are you talking about the MMA business that you have or the new boxing?
Both. I think it's a lot of everything, yeah. Yeah.
So how soon do you think you can get something going? Are we, a November announcement possible, or we could push it back to next year?
ASAP. Yeah. ASAP. As soon as I possibly can get it done, I will.
Sure. Well, MMA remains the core business. I got to ask you, I mean, you said it before. You think about the beginning of this year, we never would have thought about this as a main event. Now it's one of the biggest fights of the year. I mean, what did you learn in this experience, and what did you take from this, that two guys that have been around forever, all of a sudden, like, the matchup caught fire?
No, every year there's a fight that I didn't see coming, a fight that I didn't expect, a fight that nobody could expect that ends up happening. It happens every year.
Yeah. Projections, I know it's still early, we still got the weigh-ins, but give me an idea what the early numbers are like.
Let me tell you what, there's a guy, we love all the guys at ESPN, we have a great working relationship with them, and it's been an amazing experience, you know, in the 8 or 9 months that we've been with these guys. There's a guy over there who isn't always positive about things and is a little grumpy that works over at ESPN. This guy's ecstatic right now. This thing is going to break every record that we have since we've been with these guys. This is a massive fight. I knew financially that this was going to be number 1 or number 2 for the year. This is blowing everything out of the water.
This is going to be number 1.
This is by far number 1.
Knowing that, how nervous did you get? I mean, we had this little hiccup, right? And it all worked out, and Nate proved to be right, and it seems like you decided to do the right thing, so.
I was never nervous about it, yeah. You know, when the media catches wind of something, it gets bigger than it is, and, you know, Nate put this out there, but I was never concerned about it. We've had a track record of dealing with this now. Unfortunately, some other guys had to take some lumps for us to get where we are now, in understanding how these guys are testing positive for this stuff, and I truly believe that Nate Diaz wasn't taking performance-enhancing drugs. So with the experience that we had already had with USADA and dealing with this, and the fact that he showed us everything that he was taking, we had everything, you know, analyzed in a lab and found out what the problem was and fixed it.
Yeah, we know there's a BMF title on the line. Is this a #1 contender bout for the actual welterweight title as well? I mean, I know Nate might be a little tougher, but Jorge especially has had the nice little run, and he's got the history with Colby Covington. Should he win? I mean, does this have some title implications as well?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't talk about that stuff unless I come out and tell you this is to determine who gets the next shot at the title. We'll see how this thing plays out.
Last thing for me, Dennis, since he did design the belt, we got to finish up with Conor there. How close are we? You've thrown the name out there, Cowboy. You've thrown the January 18th date out there as a possibility. How close are we? And he's got some allegations of some more legal things. Is that part of the process of determining?
We're not close at all. We're not even anywhere near. I didn't announce that fight. I said yes, that is the date that we were talking about, but nothing is done. Cowboy Cerrone hasn't even been called. So there you go.